As part of his efforts to elect Donald Trump president of the United States, Elon Musk has been holding a daily lottery where he gives away $1 million to selected registered voters from swing states. And if that sounds a little sketchy to you, you're not alone. It also sounds a little sketchy to the United States Justice Department. This is from David Ingram and Ken Delanian at NBC News on October 23rd. Headline: Justice Department warns Elon Musk's PAC that $1 million voter giveaway could be illegal. Quoting now from the article, the Justice Department has sent a letter to tech billionaire Elon Musk's super PAC, America PAC, warning that its $1 million daily giveaway in battleground states may run afoul of federal law, a source familiar with the matter said. A bit further down in the article, pressure has been mounting on state and federal authorities to investigate Musk's lottery as a potential violation of election laws, including a ban on paying people to register to vote. On Monday, a group of ex-prosecutors and other former government officials sent a letter to the Justice Department requesting an investigation. And from a bit further down in the article, legal experts have told NBC News that they believe Musk's contest falls into a legal gray area and could violate election law, but not necessarily. What sort of legal gray area? According to another NBC News piece by Kevin Collier from October 21st, that gray area is the result of how carefully worded the terms of Musk's lottery are. Quoting from the article, paying someone to vote or to register to vote is explicitly illegal under federal law. Musk's payouts seem to skirt those laws, though. Musk and America PAC have said that payouts or lottery entries will be given to registered voters for their petition signatures or referrals of other signatories. The petition is supportive of free speech and gun rights. Signing the petition does not require any specific party affiliation. And from a bit further in the article, the fact that the lottery is contingent on signing a petition rather than merely registering to vote may be enough to keep Musk from overtly breaking the law, experts told NBC News, but it's not clear-cut. Look, I'm glad the Justice Department has put its arm on Elon Musk's shoulder over this. I don't think it will ultimately make any difference, especially this close to the election, but it's nice to see that at least someone's paying attention. Here's the thing, this lottery gimmick may fall into a legal gray area, but there's no moral gray area to what's going on here. If it ever came to that, Elon Musk or his attorneys could go into a court of law and argue that this lottery doesn't violate federal election law, that it was perfectly legal because, hey, the $1 million daily lottery prize, that wasn't being used as an inducement to get people to register to vote or to vote, and certainly not to vote for any particular candidate. That was an inducement to encourage them to sign our petition to support the First and Second Amendment. There's no law against using a lottery prize to encourage people to sign a petition, right? And they may be able to get away with that, legally speaking. But it's obvious what he's trying to do. He's giving away $1 million a day to encourage people to sign a petition. Come on. Nobody believes that. That makes no sense. Nobody gives a shit about his petition. The petition exists only to provide a legal cover for what he's really doing. And what he's obviously really doing is using this money, using this promise of a big daily cash prize to encourage people who live in swing states to not only register to vote, but to vote for Donald Trump, the candidate who Elon Musk, the guy who is sponsoring the lottery, has endorsed. He doesn't have to come out and say, register to vote and vote for Donald Trump in order to enter this lottery, but that is assumed. How many Kamala Harris voters are going to sign a petition or enter a lottery sponsored by Elon Musk? It's Elon Musk. I say again, come on. A billionaire trying to buy votes would be alarming in any circumstance, but it's especially worrying that the billionaire in question is Elon Musk, a habitually lying, self-promoting, anti-labor show-off with a history of toxic transphobia that has led his own transgender daughter to publicly disown him. And oh, by the way, as a bonus, he has regular conversations with Russian President Vladimir Putin. This comes from the Wall Street Journal, a newspaper not exactly known for its left-wing bias. October 24, headline, Elon Musk's secret conversations with Vladimir Putin. Quoting from the article, Elon Musk, the world's richest man and a linchpin of U.S. space efforts, has been in regular contact with Russian President Vladimir Putin since late 2022. The discussions, confirmed by several current and former U.S., European, and Russian officials, touch on personal topics, business, and geopolitical tensions. At one point, Putin asked the billionaire to avoid activating his Starlink satellite internet service over Taiwan as a favor to Chinese leader Xi Jinping, said two people briefed on the request. Continuing from further down in the article, in October 2022, Musk asked his tens of millions of followers on X, which is what losers call Twitter, to vote on a pathway to peace that mirrored some aspects of the Kremlin's offer to Ukraine at the time. Those conditions included continued Russian occupation of Crimea and Ukrainian neutrality outside of NATO. He also specified that Ukraine should continue allowing the supply of water to Crimea, an issue that had been an important concern of the Kremlin before the war. One current and one former intelligence source said that Musk and Putin have continued to have contact since then and into this year as Musk began stepping up his criticism of the U.S. military aid to Ukraine and became involved in Trump's election campaign. Don't this motherfucker's companies hold some U.S. government contracts? Doesn't he have high-level security clearances? And he's regularly talking with the authoritarian leader of another country's government, a government that has been extremely hostile to the United States and our allies. And he has used his platform, his social media platform that he tried to rename X, even though nobody other than his cultish followers are really buying that. But he's used that platform to push for things that authoritarian leader he's been talking to wants, which, I don't know, seems to suggest that the authoritarian leader has some kind of influence over him and that perhaps he is willing to serve the interests of that authoritarian leader over the interests of the United States. Like, what are we waiting for here? I'm pretty sure getting paid billions of dollars to be a contractor for the United States government is not a constitutional right. If the guy running companies that are government contractors turns out to be buddies with a hostile dictator, we should find other companies to handle those contracts. Don't you think? It's not as easy as flipping a switch. There'd have to be a transition period. There'd have to be a process of selecting new contractors to take over the responsibilities that have been contracted to Elon Musk's various companies. But kind of seems like we should get the ball rolling on that, doesn't it? And in the meantime, revoke Elon Musk's personal security clearances and maybe require that while his companies are still fulfilling their contracted roles, that Elon Musk himself take a step back and no longer be personally involved or have any personal access to any of the operations of those companies that they are performing for the government. I'm no lawyer, but when a businessman is a United States government contractor and he's regularly talking with and honoring requests from Vladimir fucking Putin, that seems like a conflict of interest. Not to mention a potentially serious compromise of our national security. I know Elon thinks it should be illegal to choose to not give him money, but as of right now, that is still an option. We don't have to give Elon money for anything if we don't want to. As individuals, as organizations, as a government, we can just choose to not give him money. And it's a choice that I think the United States government should take as soon as possible. Because between his efforts to buy the presidency for Donald Trump and his coziness with the Kremlin, those people in the government who are in charge of Elon Musk's contracts really need to be asking themselves exactly what the fuck they have been paying for.